All right, everybody, welcome to Prime Sports Media. We're going to get it right now. Thank you for being here right now, everybody. I appreciate you. Let's get into this. We know that they've got a big game coming up on Saturday against Wyoming FBS team. They've got to win this game. I'm just going to keep it straight up. They got to win this game. They've got to beat this team. They got to get their confidence back to where it needs to be. Last week against Houston, there were a lot of mistakes. The defense could not stop the run. Everything was breaking down, and Ryan Staubs was not the answer last week. He struggled in the game last week against Houston. I'm going to put that up. And Coach Prime has got decisions to make, everybody. What does he do? Does he go back to Salter? This would be a boost to Salter confidence if Coach Prime goes back to him and decides to say, you know what he needs from Salter is that he needs Salter to be more confident and more of a leader as a quarterback in the backfield. Now, we know that Salter can run the ball when necessary. He can scramble, get out of pressure, and get you a whole bunch of gains of yards. But Coach Prime said in the press conference this week that he needs him to show more leadership. I believe that he is going to get the start. He's going to go back to the man that he started with, and we're going to see what's going to happen, because what he does bring is he is a little bit more dynamic with his feet. But I'm not going to deny that when Ryan Staubs came in the game, okay, against particularly Delaware, he was just very dynamic with the way he was getting the ball down the field. And for whatever reason, the offense was very, very stagnated this week. So we can't have that. They've got to win this game. They got to put it all out there on the line. You've got guys like DJ McKinney who says he doesn't like how they've been playing lately. Let me put him up on the screen because he's one of the lead guys on defense for this team. He is the top-notch defensive back. He's ranked in number 20th or 29th in the country as defensive backs. He'll be an NFL prospect. He has already come out and said that he is not happy with what's going on, that he's got to play better. The team's got to play better, and that's what it's all about. Coach Prime, in his press conference, you could tell it really bothered him the way they lost the game. He mentioned that they had practiced hard, that in practice it did not look like they were not going to be prepared for the game against Houston, that by all accounts, they looked pretty good in their practice, their workouts, and everything in question. So now here it is, week 4, and they're going to have to pull out a game against Wyoming. This is the way I look at it, everybody. They should be able to beat Wyoming easily. Okay, one of the concerns I had against Delaware is that when they played against Delaware, even though they beat Delaware 31-7, is that it seemed like their offense, once again, was still sluggish, and it seemed like they were giving up too many runs or opportunities to Delaware's quarterback, and that's an area that they're going to have to shore up. They're going to have to be more stout, more disciplined in executing the game plan, executing what they have to do as individual players and as a unit. Now, one of the things I want to bring up real quick that I'm concerned about, and I know people are now starting to talk about this, and this is the offensive coordinator, Pat. I'm very concerned about Shermer. I'm very concerned about Pat, whether he is the right guy for the team. I had a chance to look at a video with Steve Smith. Remember, Steve Smith used to be he's an all outstanding, all pro NFL. And I think he's in the Hall of Fame wide receiver who played with the Carolina Panthers. He is now, media. He's in the media. He has a podcast, and he made mention about Travis Hunter and how they're using Travis Hunter or not using him properly right now with the Jaguars. And he's saying that some of this can be reflective. This is what Steve Smith said, that he believes that Pat Shermer has not really been a great offensive coordinator in the way he prepares, put players in positions to win. That's an area that we'll have to explore as the season goes on. Is it time, everybody, that Pat needs to be sacked, as they would say in UK when it comes to soccer? When they fire coaches, they call them they say sacked. Is it time for Pat Shurmur to be sacked? Will he be sacked at some point in time? Because I got to be honest, I'm not that thrilled or happy with the play calling and the imagination and the creativity of what Pat has done with the offense so far. I believe that they've been too predictable, and I do know they're trying to run the ball more than they did the last few years. But I'm just bringing this up, not to sound a loud alarm, but to sound a little small alarm. That let's take a close look at how Pat is doing out the course of this season with his play calling. I'm very concerned about it. Now, in this video today, I am going to break down to you, everybody out there, the strengths, the weaknesses of Wyoming, what CU should be looking for and should be exploiting if Pat Shurmur is worth his salt and gold as an offensive coordinator. I'm sure he's looking at their strengths, their weaknesses, and how they can exploit those weaknesses. I also want to get back to Coach Prime, because he said something that was very powerful this week when Coach Prime mentioned, he highlighted 3 particular players, but I think there's some more guys that he needs to get the ball in their hands and let them work their magic. And I'm going to bring up those 3 players on CU's team that you're very familiar with. But I'm going to name a couple other people, or 1 or 2, that I think are important to what Coach Prime is trying to break down here. Let me go right quick and let you hear. This is going to be a quick video clip of Coach Prime just this week in his press conference, explaining that the team has got to get better, that he believes in the team, believes in the process, and that why not see you as the team that can turn things around. And I want you to hear what he had to say. I just set this up, and I want to say, check this out, everybody. This is going to be very interesting. Check it out.
And why not us? Why can't we turn it around? Why can't we correct the wrongs with the rights and display consistency and do those things? Because we have the talent in-house. We just got to put it to usage and do what we are capable of doing.
Hi, Coach. Kind of building off that, with your run defense issues early on this season, how much of that has been guys maybe freelancing, not playing within the scheme?
I'm not going to say freelancing. They just miss opportunities. We've had several opportunities.
Now, Coach Prime is totally correct right here. They have blown a lot of opportunities. Now, let's remember, in the first 2 games of the season against Georgia Tech, which was pretty decent team they played against, they were able to cause Georgia Tech to turn the ball over, not once, not 2 times, but 3 times in that game. And they said that was uncharacteristic of Georgia Tech to turn the ball over in that manner. And after making them turn the ball over those 3 times, CU, unfortunately, was not able to really capitalize off of the turnovers in a way that they could have won this game against. Let's go back to that Georgia Tech game. They could have won. Then let's flip it to the next week after that, when they played Delaware, and they did cause Delaware to turn the ball over, I believe, 3 times in that game. They did capitalize just a little bit more in a few areas, but still, when you make a team turn the ball over and you get opportunity, you get good field position, whatever it may be, you've got to score. You've got to capitalize to win the game. College football is a game of inches. Football is a game of inches. It's a game of opportunity. It's a game of chance, and you can't blow those opportunities. And that's something that really concerned me with the way CU has been playing so inconsistently with their defense. One of the problems I've been saying, you guys know this already, that they still struggle to put up a really good run defense. I think this week against Wyoming, I want to see their run defense show up and show out. We need to get other skilled players in positions. They need the damn ball. That means that Pat is going to have to do a better job of the play calling. I'm just laying it on the line right there, everybody. Let's hear some more what Coach Prime is saying here.
Make plays. We just missed the opportunities. We just got to make good on the opportunities. That's it. I don't think they're freelancing. I just think we just don't make the play when the play is afforded.
Right. I agree. They've got to make the plays when the plays are afforded to them. They've got to get on top of things. And now I want to give you a nice breakdown of what they need to do to be effective against Wyoming. This is if you look to the left, you can see the offensive line, the rebuilt offensive line for CU being led by our man Jordan Seaton. All right, let's give him his mad props here. So they're being led by Jordan Seaton. They're a bigger offensive line. They're physical. We need to see more physicality. Coach Prime said that in last week's game, they were out hustled, more physical. We need this offensive line to be more physical because they were allowing at that time Houston to break through the line to put pressure on Stobbs. They were stopping the run every time they were trying to run the ball. They were in the backfield. So good players, good young players like Michael Welsh could never really get going, right? They could never really get the running game going. I like Price, and with Price, number 26, Price, what he brings to the table. He did make a big catch that opened up an opportunity for him to get a touchdown in that game last week. We still got guys like Joseph Williams, who I don't think he's really gotten into the flow yet because the offense in general has been stagnant. They've got to get some rhythm. They got to get some confidence. And then you got guys like Sincere Brown, who showed us that he can make big plays, but they got to get the ball to him consistently. And I just don't think that that's been the case, particularly as it relates to the game against Houston just a week ago. So all of this stuff has got to be cleaned up, everybody. We know that Coach Prime has really, he's gotten after his players to get their you-know-what together. But let's talk about Wyoming from this point of view. And I want to go right here with this right here. So this is just some pictures of their players in particular, of their quarterback right here, and I believe that one of their linebackers. One of the things to know about Wyoming is that Wyoming is bringing back an experienced offensive line. They've got about, from what I understand, Wyoming offensively, their strength is that they've got about 68 starts. So their offensive line is an experienced offensive line with 68 starts underneath their belt. So they're not bringing in an offensive line that's inexperienced. Our defensive line has to be stout. Our defensive line has to be aware that they're going up against an offensive line, even though they're an FBS team, that our defensive line has to understand that you're going up against a team that has experience in their trenches, and we've got to figure out a way to do some damage here. These are some of the scouting reports. The next strength of Wyoming is that their defensive backfield, their secondary is considered the strength featured by talented players. So secondary-wise, and this was the same with Houston just a week ago, and this was the same thing with Delaware, that both of those teams came in with experience in their secondary, and CU sort of had some struggles with that simply because the offensive line could not negate the pressure that was coming up front by the defensive line of the opposing team. So CU's got to be aware that two strengths so far of Wyoming is that Wyoming is bringing back an experienced offensive line to the table. They're bringing back an experienced secondary to the table. And another thing that they're bringing into question is, you see this wide receiver right here. Wyoming has a very talented wide receiving and tight end core. as it states here in the scouting report, that the Wyoming Cowboys, retain key playmakers who have a combination of height, speed, and physicality for the passing game, according to 7220 Sports. Their favorite target is number 17, who caught 284 yards. He went for 284 yards and 2 touchdowns through the first 3 games of the season, y'all. Okay. Another thing that they bring back to the table that CU is going to have to worry about is Wyoming's kicking game. Now, I got to be honest, our special teams has tremendously made improvement, and that just cannot be denied, everybody. We have definitely a better special teams. Well, Wyoming brings in a really good special teams. Their kicker is that guy can kick within 40 yards. Their kicker, I think his name is John Holland, can kick within 40 yards. And so the special teams makes a difference when you punt the ball, the field position, all of that makes a difference based on who can control the game when you have a good kicker. So we got to be aware of that situation, but we have a good kicking game that we can negate theirs as well. It's been playing well the last couple of games, even if there's other areas on the football team that need tremendous improvement. Now, this is the area that we need to attack. CU needs to attack this area with the talented wide receivers like Sincere Brown. They need to attack the weaknesses of this team with guys like Draylon Miller, okay? Taylor, the running back Taylor, who is dynamic, explosive. When he gets the ball in his hands, he can take it to the house, okay? Let's not sleep on Price, number 26. Price can take it to the house. He can make some things happen. I'm going to say again that CU in this game against Wyoming, I'm looking for Zach to get involved. They got to get him involved. Okay, at the end of the day, Coach Prime, you got to get him involved. You got to get these guys feeling confidence in this game. Okay, we know that Amarion Miller had a couple of plays last week that were very, very nice. We want to get him in rhythm, get him feeling confident, upbeat. He had a couple of catches in the game that were fantastic catches, but one of the areas that I'm concerned of with Amarion Miller that I spoke of a week ago is that he did drop a couple of footballs that I know he would like to have had back. So definitely when you're wide open and the ball is being thrown to you appropriately, we definitely need Amarion Miller. I believe in him. I have confidence in the young man, not punching down on him. I'm sure that he was kicking his own self and saying to his own self, I should have caught those balls or held on to those balls. So hopefully this is something that he reflected on in practice this week, where he's going in the game with the idea that any football that's thrown to me, I'm going to grab that football. I'm going to secure that football. And I think the young man can. Let's go over Hakeem Williams, who came over from Florida State. Got to get him involved too. Coach Prime has said it time and time again that there's a lot of young men on this team that they got to get involved. And this is why they got to get these young men involved. Weaknesses. Offensively, now the defense can also play a role when you've got guys like DJ McKinney, okay? And you got people like Batavius French and guys like Carter, Thurmeyer Carter. When you got these guys playing in the game, RJ Johnson coming in, playing some safety spots. When you got guys like Reginald Hughes, who's been playing pretty well, DJ McKinney, let's put him back on the screen. This is where they're going to have, along with with those receivers I just named, this is where the defense can have a field day, because offensively, Wyoming is offensively inconsistent. The scouting report on them says that Wyoming's offense struggles significantly in 2024, and they're bringing back some of those same guys that struggled, okay? They rank near the bottom nationally in total offensive scored, passing, and rushing. This inconsistency, according to reports, has carried over into the early part. You said, well, Prime Sports Media, that's last year, 2024. They were at the bottom last year. No, the reports out there are mentioning that the same problems that showed its naked head with Wyoming and their defense is showing its same character in the 2025 college football season. They are inconsistent, and it has carried over into the early part of the 2025 season. And that inconsistent, I'm going to say it again, is that they were near the bottom just last year and struggling significantly in their ability to score by passing or rushing the ball. This is very significant because we need to come into this game and get all over this team, get all over them, keep their confidence down low. And if we can score quickly on them, get them questioning themselves, get them playing on their back feet, get on top of them, score quickly and efficiently, then they have a history from 2024, and they've already shown this in the early going of this season that they still struggle once again with scoring and rushing the ball. So this is a game where CU's defense should now rise to the occasion and stop this team from running on them and be efficient at it and get some damn confidence going into the next game after, because they got BYU coming soon. Their defense overall, Wyoming's defense overall, is in transition, y'all. Let's go into their punting game. Now, I did say that they have an excellent kicker who can hit field goals within 40 yards, but their punter is the area that they are in bad shape in. Their punter that they currently have has ranked at the bottom of the FBS. So so that should help our special teams. We've got some guys that they punt the ball. We got some guys that can take it to the house on CU. So that's just an area I want y'all to list. These are areas of weakness. Once again, I talked about their running game not being that great. They do have some receivers that are very talented, but their running game is nowhere like our running game with someone like a Michael Welch. I look for these guys to have breakout games this week against this team. This is the problem with Wyoming. They lack an elite running back. The 2025 roster lacks a proven star in the backfield. We need to take advantage of this weakness that they have on this football team. Third down efficiency is a problem on Wyoming. Wyoming struggles on third down situations and conversions in 2024 and ranked at about 107th in the country in the SBS. This is a potential vulnerability that has followed them into the 2025 season. So I just wanted to give this is a quick video breakdown for the pregame between CU and Wyoming Cowboys against the Buffs, of course. This is an area that CU under Coach Prime, they got to exploit these areas. Let me put this up here right now with Coach Prime. They got to exploit these areas, and I'm going to play this one more time what Coach Prime had said, because I think that it was very effective, but it's very important when Coach Prime says, why not us? I'm going to play this one more time for the effectiveness of it. And here we go.
And, why not us? Why can't we turn it around? Why can't we correct the wrongs with the rights and display consistency,
right,
and do those things? Because we have the talent in house. We just got to put it to usage and do what we are capable of doing.
That's right.
Hi, Coach. Kind of building off that.
Why not us? Why not? I totally agree with him. Now, this is the area that I want to get into. This is the fun area of today's podcast. And I hope everybody out there is having a great weekend, a great week. And I also want to say to you, thank you for watching this channel, supporting this channel, sharing the videos, and looking forward to going live. Hopefully on Saturday after the game, my goal is to go live to do a post-game review. Because I think they're going to beat Wyoming. I think they're going to beat them quite easily. My goal is to do a post-game live. If I do not go live with a post-game on Saturday, I will do one either Sunday or Monday, or do a pre-produced post-game program. But my goal is to go live post-game for Saturday. We'll see how things go. But now this is the area that I want to talk about. Coach Prime, I got to give him some credit here. Coach Prime has brought this up to the press. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, highlights 3 playmakers that Colorado Buffaloes must better utilize. And let's get into this. I want to start with Quinton Gibson, I believe. I want to be correct. I'm going to, Brother Gibson, who's a young man who came out of high school, recruited by Coach Prime. Let's put him up here. Quinton Gibson, Brother Gibson, remember Coach Prime definitely realizes that he's got to get this young man more involved, because this young man is explosive. If you already don't realize this, that this young man had 2,000 yards receiving in high school, according to Coach Prime. He told this young man right here, Gibson, broke records in the state of Texas. Okay, he was all Texas in the state of Texas. The young man was player of the year in Texas high school football and is explosive. So Coach Prime, realizing that this is a young man that he has to get involved, he has to get him involved in the game, get that confidence going, because he is definitely the future. Another young man, and I've already mentioned this before, is our man Taylor, number 20. He's a young man. You want to get the ball to him in space. He's very explosive, very quick. Just agility, ability to make a damn play on a dime. And that's the young man at running back, and that's Taylor. Now, let's break it down what Taylor has been this year so far. The scouting report on him breaks it down that Taylor has been dangerous as a pass catcher. He recorded 10 catches for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns in Colorado's first 3 games this year, everybody. Okay? Now, he also carried the ball for 10 times for 61 yards so far this season, and needs the ball to be in his hands more. Definitely more, and some more. Get that young man involved. Now, here's another young man that I'm very excited about. He made a big catch when in the game, I believe against Delaware, when Ryan Stobbs came in and electrified everybody with a big pass to this young man right here. And we're going to put him up on the board. This is another young man that they're saying is another key player that Coach Prime has got to get involved more and some more. And that's the young man, Sincere Brown. Now, Sincere, Coach Prime, this is a quote. I'm quoting Coach Prime with this statement right here. Coach Prime said out of his own mouth that Sincere, we've got to get him the ball, vertical shots, according to Coach Prime. He has to get 2 to 3 vertical shots a game, because he's going to cash in at the last 2 of them if we get it out there to him. So this is a quote from Coach Prime. I'm going to say it again about Sincere Brown. Coach Prime says we got to get him the ball vertically. Coach Prime goes on to say we got to get him 2 to 3 vertical shots a game because he's going to cash one of them in for touchdowns. Basically what he's saying. This is what Coach Prime is saying, and I had to read that again to really make it flow a little bit better than I said the first time, but y'all know what I'm talking about here. Sincere Brown. So those are the 3 young men that Coach Prime said that he's really got to get involved. But wait a minute now. We got to go with another young man because this cannot be denied that this young man right here is the real deal too. Draylon Miller. If we can get Draylon Miller the ball, give him opportunity, a lot of magical things can happen. So let's not sleep on Draylon Miller. Is another, I think, a young man who can play wide receiver. They can line him up in the backfield as a running back. I want to see more of that. Once again, I'm a little concerned about the offensive coordinator, Pat. Y'all back me up on this. Okay, I just don't like so far the imagination or the lack of imagination with his offensive play calling. And when you got someone like Draylon Miller, who really needs to be more involved, they got to figure a way to get him involved. If he's not catching balls, get the ball to him as a running back. If you can't get the ball to him as a running back because that's not working, get the ball to him as a receiver. Do something. And I'm sure Coach Prime has been talking about this all along, everybody. So, with that said, this is Prime Sports Media. I want to thank you all for being here. I enjoy doing these videos. I enjoy talking football over here. I wish you all the best. But before I go, we still have a situation. I want everybody to leave comments on this video about what is your opinion about what Coach Prime should do. Should he go back to Salter, or should he give Ryan Staubs one more opportunity? We know that Juju is someone that they're developing. They don't want to put him in situations to hurt his confidence, but something's got to give here. And I'm going to say right now, it looks to me, and you guys notice, that Coach Prime is going to give Salter back his starting position and give him an opportunity. And I think that that's the case because he just said to the press, he just needs to see Salter show more leadership. And Salter, when he gets out there in the game, he's going to have to show that he's confident about what he's doing. He can't be too nervous when it's time to throw the ball, and you can't be reluctant to run. You can't be questioning whether you're going to run. Whatever you got to do it when it's time to do it. So if you're going to run the ball, use your legs, do it and do it. Don't be sort of iffy, one leg in, one leg out. He's got to show some consistency. And another thing that I'm concerned about with Salter that I hope that he's worked on in practice is that in 2 games, we saw him throw the ball to players that were wide open. One, I think, to Michael Welsh in a game where they were wide open and the ball didn't have velocity on it. It was wiggly. He did not have great accuracy on his ball. And I think that's a sign that the young man is nervous and he's still trying to acclimate himself to big-time power football coming out of FBS football. It's two different worlds, and he's going to have to adjust and adjust now. The damn season is here. Everybody, I want to thank you for watching this program. This is Prime Sports Media. Do me the biggest favor, everybody. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the show. I want to say thank you for watching. I want to say thank you again. Like and comment. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. By all means, I appreciate it. I like what you're doing out there, everybody. Let me put this up here like so. And there it is. Had it up there wrong. Thank you very much for coming over, supporting this channel, and all that you do, everybody. So once again, it's coming up this week, this Saturday. We're going to see what happens. Everybody, tell somebody that you love them. Thank you for supporting this channel. And I say take care. Peace. This is Prime Sports Media. Peace. Here we go, y'all.
Information is
Peace.
power. the truth.